What's up, guys? We're going to talk about the first 5 notes on our clarinet. First thing is we want to double check that the reed is on properly and that your ligature is also on correctly. You want to make sure the ligature screws here go across the bottom of your reed and the screws are on your right hand side. You want to make sure that your reed is flush or aligned with the tip of your mouthpiece, tip of the reed, tip of the mouthpiece, so you have that little space in between the reed and the mouthpiece for it to vibrate. And make sure you bring this ligature far enough down so that it's not way up here, because that can also pinch off the sound. So you want to make sure the ligature is down here. Best way to know if it's far enough down is if you only see that much butt of the reed. So if you see only a little bit of reed down here, that's probably right. If you see way too much of that, your ligature is probably too high and you need to bring it down a little bit more. Okay? And as always, make sure your reed is wet with your saliva and you wet it before you put it on, otherwise it won't play. And make sure we're sitting up correctly, nice posture, back straight, at the edge of your seat. And so we can access the air that comes from down here. Okay, we're pushing the air from the gut area, not with our chest. Okay, so like flutophone and all the other instruments like saxophone, left hand on top. So this is my left hand, your left hand is over here. Okay, the left hand goes on top, the right hand goes on the bottom. Okay, the right thumb gets a little thumb rest right here. So that's where your right thumb goes. These are just gonna rest right here. You wanna make sure you actually don't push any of these keys down. They are keys that you will eventually push down for notes, different notes, but you will not need to push them for today. So just keep it there, just don't push it down or cover the holes. Otherwise you won't get a sound. All right. So we're primarily working with the left hand, which I said is the top hand. So the first note we're going to play is C. So we're going to cover the thumb hole, which is right here, with our thumb. So that's our thumb hole. I'm going to turn around. So the thumb hole's on the back. So make sure the clarinet, when you're having the clarinet here, the thumb hole is in the back. Okay, next you're going to finger the first hole. Second finger goes on the second hole. The third finger goes on the third hole. The third finger goes on the third hole. Okay, and the third finger, you'll see that there's no button or key there you push, you just cover the hole. Okay, the other two kind of have different, they have like the little silver keys that you want to push down as you cover the hole. So for clarinet, you guys can see that there are holes there. It's really, really important that you cover the holes, otherwise no sound will come out. Even if a little bit of air escapes through your little fingers, because I know you're a little bit smaller than me, you won't get a sound if any air escapes through your fingers. Okay, so you want to really use the finger pad of your fingers to close the hole. All right, so the first note is C, which is thumb hole covered, first, second, third finger, all covered up. Okay, the right hand doesn't push down any keys, it just holds up and balances your clarinet with your thumb rest. Okay, I'm pushing it up. So we want our clarinet at a 45-degree angle, not like this, not like that, 45 degrees. Okay, come straight into your mouth. Remember, front two teeth, right here. Okay, and just very lightly. Okay, close the corners. Okay, and let the reed vibrate. And that's our C. Okay, nice and soft. I'm gonna try to play that 4 times. Like playing 4 quarter notes. I don't know if you heard the tongue, but I'm tonguing each of my notes. I'm going ta, 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 ta. So I want you to try that. So all you're doing is saying 2 without your voice. Say it 4 times. Okay, and try it with me. Okay, so that's the C, 3 fingers down with the thumb hole. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that's our C. Next note is our D. So from here it gets pretty easy. You're going to take the third finger off, and that's it. That's our D. So this is our D sound. Notice it's a little bit higher than our C. I'm going to play it 4 times. Okay, play it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, remember, kickstart the note with your tongue. Your tongue does hit the reed. It kicks the reed and brings it back. Kicks the reed and brings it back. So that was a D. Next note is an E. Again, take off another finger. So now you have the thumb hole covered and the first finger, first key covered. That's our E. Here's the E sound. Okay, notice a little bit higher than the last sound, which was a D. I'll play that 4 times. Okay, play it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that was our E. Okay, next one's pretty easy too. Take the first finger off. Now you have just the thumb hole covered and nothing else. Okay, and that's our F. Okay, I'm gonna play F, and this one's kind of hard because the clarinet's a little heavy. It's much heavier than the flutophone that some of you might have played with me last year. Okay, so you want to balance your clarinet with your thumb on the right hand. Okay, this one can't balance it because it's just holding the button down, but the other balance point is actually your mouth. Okay, so once you put it in your mouth, since you're biting here, it should balance itself out. Okay, so keep your thumb up and pushed up against your face. Okay, and hold that thumb key down and cover the thumb hole. This is your F. Listen. I'll play that 4 times. Play it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And the last note that we're going to do is G. It's probably your easiest one. It's open, no fingers down. Okay, so what do I do with my left hand? Well, you can just leave it here. You can hold it up here if you think you need the assistance, but most students, I tell them, you have to get used to hovering over the keys, because when you do change notes, going from here to down here takes some time. Okay, so as beginners, you can start here. This is your G, to have more support. Okay, but as you get to be intermediate players, you want to keep your hand off the barrel. Okay, but for now we can do this. Okay, so this is our G. Play it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. And those are our first five notes in beginning band. So I'll go over them again. Here's your C, 3 fingers plus thumb. D, E, F, G. Okay, and those are our 5 notes. It's very similar to probably flutophone. It's very easy. It's just 3, 2, 1, thumb, and off. And as always, just remember that reading is just as important. So make sure after you remember and memorize the correct fingerings for each of those notes that you're looking at your music notes inside your music staff to identify the notes correctly. So when we're playing songs, you can see the notes that are coming and then apply them to your instrument. And that's it. Those are the first 5 notes for beginning band.